What's going on YouTube? We are 7 weeks away from Ironman Oceanside 70.3 and I'm going to run you through my week and how I structure my training around my work, my business, my calls, everything I do within life. It's super cool to be doing this because we're healthy. We can run, we can bike, we can swim, we can lift, and we have the ability to. Not everyone in this world has the ability to train for Ironmans and train for marathons. We have a gym to go to. We have a bike to go to. We have a treadmill to run on. We can go run outside. We can afford shoes. We can do all this and that. Definitely don't take that for granted. Keep up the work. If you're watching this, you're probably pretty dialed within fitness and within training. So this will be my 12th Ironman event. I've coached over 400 people, so there's a lot of things to take into account, and I just kind of want to run you through this week. So this is how my week went. Monday, I did a 1,500 meter swim. It was pretty much just 1,500 meters, not a lot of structure as I got back from Vancouver that day. So then I just did 1,500 meters. Tuesday, this workout really hit me pretty hard because I commented on it here. This was very rough. Looking back, it was my first structured run in 2.5 weeks. Time to get back the consistency and get back in shape. When I say in shape, like I just mean racing shape and training shape. Like I'm obviously in shape, but not to a high standard of Ironman triathlon. So this is what I mean by when I say that. Yeah, when I don't run a lot and when I don't run consistently, leading up to a race or leading up to a race prep, my heart rate just goes through the roof as my body hasn't got back to the normal workload that I'm used to in training. You probably know that. You probably know what it feels like to train really good for a long period of time, take a couple days off or even a week off, and then get back to it. Your body feels just out of whack, out of shambles, and your heart rate's through the roof. I want to make it clear that even myself, I do have bad workouts. I am not in shape at the start of these preps, at the start of these blocks. I think it's easy to get wrapped up in like people that maybe do fast marathons or Ironmans, XYZ. Every workout is easy and every workout is just super efficient. It's not. Everyone has to build that into their schedule and into their routine, and that's what I'm still doing right now. I'm definitely not back in shape like I was for Ironman Florida 70.3 prep. But yeah, that was Tuesday. High heart rate run. Getting on to Wednesday, I did a nice and easy 25-minute bike. This was my first bike I did on my new indoor Quintana Roo bike on the Wahoo because I was looking for a piece for the Wahoo to get on the trainer, but I just got it, so I've been cycling inside, which is really nice because before I was just on a stationary bike at the gym, which is not fun. You're just staring at a mirror the whole time, and yeah, I don't like biking at commercial gyms, but when you do have to, you have to. Some of my athletes do it because they don't have a bike yet, and that's completely fine. Like if you are in that situation, completely fine. I'd rather have you do that for a couple weeks or until you get a new bike, a couple months, whatever that time being, because then you will appreciate having a bike, appreciate having an indoor trainer, and then you'll love it. So yeah, Wednesday I did that bike, and then I did a 2,100 meter swim, just a bunch of 100s with pull buoy. I felt insanely good. My swimming's feeling really strong. I'm not feeling very fatigued at all in swimming wise. I feel like it's a lot of paddle work that's giving me a lot of confidence and giving my arms, shoulders, back, rear delts a lot of confidence and a lot of strength so I don't get tired throughout longer workouts, and I'm doing faster workouts as well. If you have any questions about triathlon, lifting, running, biking, swimming, and you want to have a schedule, you want to have a plan, and you don't know where to go, fill in the link on my website, hacksathleticlub.com. I'll get back to you within 24 to 48 hours to see if this is a good fit. and we'll go from there. Or if you just have any general questions, message me on Instagram. Thursday, I just did a little indoor cycling warm-up before a 60-minute run on the treadmill again. Again, not the fastest run, just an easy, nice little, you could call this like a tempo run. It felt like a zone 2 because I was going like a 5:27 minute per kilometer, but my average heart rate was 156, and then my heart rate started to rose towards the end at around 170. I think I didn't have a fan going, so when you don't have a fan going indoors on a treadmill, you are going to get super hot. There's no wind flow, there's no air. It's probably like 20 degrees Celsius. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit for probably a lot of you watching in the US, but it's not cool at all. So at this point in the week, like, I'm just getting back into it. It's not a lot of like tempo hard stuff. I say this to a lot of athletes a lot, is that when they're just getting started or just getting back into shape, I'm not giving you threshold stuff. I'm not giving you sprints or VO2 max work. I'm giving you a lot of zone 2, like lower heart rate, lower effort stuff, just so your body can be efficient and maintain the workload and the volume, rather than giving you intense sessions and you're gonna be sore the next day and not perform at the next workout. I want you to perform hard enough today so that you can perform hard tomorrow, and just recycle and repeat that saying. I don't want you to peak today. I want you to peak on race day. So if you go really hard today and have a great workout, that's awesome, but only so that if you can perform tomorrow as well, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day, because race day is the most important thing here. And if you're having a good session today, great, but I want you to also focus on, how am I going to feel tomorrow? Did I do this session way too hard so I wasn't able to perform the next day? And then your body's going to be under more fatigue, and then an injury is probably going to come, and then your whole race prep is going to go out the whack. I've gone through this a ton of times with a lot of people that think zone 2 is just really overrated and you don't need it. I was like that at the start too. So trust me, when you need a lot of zone 2 training to become more efficient at training and handle the volume that you should be handling when you're training for an endurance event. Other than that, getting into Friday, I finally did like a longer bike ride for the first time on my trainer. I'm still working out the kinks in my bike, adjusting the saddle length, the handlebars. I'm getting that all set up. It's feeling unreal. It's feeling really good. So I'm really loving that. So that was Friday, an hour and a half, zone 2-ish, 172 watts. And then 15 by 100s with pull buoy on 10-second rest. I hit a couple PRs here. The last 6 reps of the 100s were under a minute 30. Super pumped here. My swimming is definitely just increasing so much, and I'm super proud of myself for doing that, because I've been stuck at like 135 to 140 per 100 for, I don't know, 2 years, I'd say, of the 4 years that I've been in this sport. So it's really nice to see that I'm working my way up. Saturday, 50-minute easy run, 154 heart rate. This is the first run I felt like I was kind of getting my mojo back. I was kind of getting more efficient here. Simple Saturday. Sunday, this was definitely a longer session. So this is noted as a 2-hour bike and then a 20-minute run. But what I was doing is I was doing about like a 45. No, what was it? I did an hour warm up of biking just in zone 1, probably like 180 watts. And then I was doing 20 minutes tempo on the bike, 5 minutes of tempo on the run, and then repeat that 4 times, and then like a cool down bike. That was tough, let me tell you that, but I'm feeling good again. Like that was my last workouts this week. It was only 10 hours, no strength training. I just couldn't fit the strength training in. Like I took a couple weeks off of work, so I had a lot of catching up to do. And I mean, I'm prioritizing this Ironman training right now. I was strength training a ton before this, but sometimes you need to make sacrifices. Would I rather make sacrifices to my triathlon training right now or my strength training? I'm going to say I can sacrifice strength training a bit more right now because, I mean, I'm just stronger at strength training, and especially leading up to this Ironman Oceanside 70.3, I want to put a lot of energy into triathlon, obviously, but yeah, I mean, it's going really well. I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling absolutely zero fatigue, zero injuries, and we're just slowly building back up. Over the next 5 weeks, we're just going to keep building and then have some big long workouts on the weekend, get my threshold zone set up, get my race paces set up, and then hammer Oceanside 70.3. This isn't going to be like the craziest intense prep for this race, because I have T100 in June and then I have Worlds in November. So this is kind of like a warm up to the season, if you want to call it that. But it's still going to be a great event. I'm still going to go for a PR because I feel like I'm stronger than I was for Ironman Florida, even at this point, on the bike, on the swim. Run, not at all because it's still coming back, but my bike power and my swimming speed is definitely feeling good. So this is what I do before the week on how to fit this all in and make sure I get all the training I'm doing done. Is I go and look at my training schedule on Sunday night, and then I drag and drop the workouts for the days where I can do it, or where I can't, and then switch it to other days. But generally, like, I have a pretty flexible morning every morning because my schedule is pretty much the same every day. I wake up, I eat, and then I have client check-in calls, and then I have lunch, and then I have sales calls, and then I finish up and do messages. That's pretty much what I do day to day. I mean, this was a great week. I'm glad I'm back on YouTube. I'm glad I'm back training and healthy. I thought this today, it's super cool to be doing this, because we're healthy. We can run, we can bike, or we can swim, we can lift, and we have the ability to. Not everyone in this world has the ability to train for Ironmans and train for marathons. We have a gym to go to, we have a bike to go to, we have a treadmill to run on, we can go run outside, we can afford shoes, we can do all this and that. Definitely don't take that for granted. I try not to take that for granted. It's easy to get wrapped up just in the day-to-day stuff, but to have stuff to be grateful for and to really push yourself that way, I mean, it keeps you having a positive mindset when things get bad and things get slow. Maybe your fitness isn't coming along, maybe your work isn't going well, XYZ, but yeah, I mean, keep up the work. If you're watching this, you're probably pretty dialed within fitness and within training, so I appreciate you watching. If you have any questions, DM me on Instagram, comment on this video, go watch some of my older YouTube videos. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.